Put up your feet, take a break, relax, chill, and we are going to do some disambiguation. Hi, I'm NICO, Scarlet Moon, and in this video we are going to be talking about the concepts of alignment and resonance, or what resonates when it comes to the spiritual path and spiritual practice. Now, I do want to stress that we are going to be talking about this in a spiritual context, just to, again, hopefully weed out any pedantry. However, it's also important to understand that these terms can be a little bit confusing because they are so ever-present and prevalent in the spiritual community that in a lot of ways they've started to lose their meaning. And when they start to lose their meaning, we might not actually be understanding exactly what they are cueing us to consider and pay attention to when it comes to optimizing our reality experience. Where I'm going with this may bring up some artificial sense of judgment in audiences because of how these terms have been used by other people before. And I want you to understand that I am coming at this from a completely neutral, objective perspective. We are looking at this as a force of nature. These topics refer to a universal force that is basically working as a mechanic all the time. There is no way to infer judgment from what's going on, and this has nothing to do with affirming or denying any kind of religion, spiritual path, or practice. When we talk about terms like alignment, alignment itself in a spiritual context has nothing to do with alliances or what or whom you actually ally yourself with or actually decide to dedicate yourself to. It does not. It does talk about what you allow or permit in your space, which can be affected by whom you ally yourself with, or sides that you take, or whatever is going on, but it is not about that in and of itself. It's got nothing to do with being lawful evil or chaotic good, this political party or that political party, this religious group or this religious group, or even what social group or what have you. Because when you zoom out, which I hope you're already doing, you will see that alignment itself is bigger than all of that. The concept of alignment is bigger than all of that. The concept of gods, the concept of angels, the concept of extraterrestrials. It is all existing within that same universal structure. It is an agreement to host and hold space for whatever kind of energies, experiences, and resonances in your life that will continue to hold, maintain, and accumulate more of that experience. So when we talk about being in alignment, you are in alignment with everything that's going on in your life in this now moment. And that might feel kind of weird. For me, that feels kind of like a call-out sometimes, whenever I have to hear that. But I have to remind myself, because that is also a cue for me to go, okay, if I'm in alignment with this means I can also be in alignment with something else, or I can switch my alignment entirely for an experience that I would much rather have. And that's something that we have to keep in mind. This is not something you're stuck with forever. In fact, there's no such thing as forever or permanence. In order to actually maintain something for an extended period, that energy has got to be fed and replicated over and over and over again. So whether you look at your life and you see something that you like or you see something that you don't like, you have to find out where is the energy coming from that is actually replicating this experience over and over and over again, or even permitting it to exist in my space. And if you like it, stay in alignment with it. If you don't, find out how to get out of alignment with that experience. When we talk about things like resonance, well, to resonate with something, I'm sorry, it's not really what a lot of people think it is, at least not at the time of making this video. A lot of people use the term resonate, again, at least at the time of making this video, as sort of an interchangeable way to politely say they do or don't like something, they approve or don't approve of something, they welcome or they don't welcome something. However, if it's showing up in your life, it must resonate with you on some level. Now, to resonate with something is more about your relationship with that singular manifestation or that singular experience, as opposed to, say, alignment, which is all about the whole spectrum of that experience. So when we talk about something resonating with us, we have to also take stock. What resonates with me when it comes to what I choose to actually experience, welcome, and invest and exchange my energy with? And the same thing can go for, again, what we include in our lives. As you've heard me say time and time again, yes, the company that we keep, the energy that we hold, and again, the space that we keep, whether again, physical, online, or what have you, whatever is exchanged there and held there does play a part in what manifests and substantiates in our reality. So if you are feeling like you are stuck, or you are feeling like you don't have what you want, it's important to pay attention to what you can do to change your space and yourself to get in alignment with what you would prefer. When you say things like change yourself to get into alignment with what you want, well, sometimes that can make you feel like you're saying change for your partner, or change for your job, or change to be something that you're not. It's not about making arbitrary shifts to emulate somebody else or to appease or accommodate somebody else. It's not about going out of your way to completely copycat other experiences to get what you want. In fact, faking things only gets you so far, because when you fake something, if you're lucky, you'll attract something into your life for a little while. But if you don't integrate it in and change after all, it's going to go away. And luckily, that also happens on the negative, right? Sometimes not so happy experiences show up because of the state that we're in, the energy that we're putting out and holding on to. Or maybe, again, the space that we're holding for people that are not necessarily creating healthy vibrations around us. Luckily, again, if we don't integrate those things, we can go back to having an existence and a reality experience that we actually feel is more dynamic, complementary, and empowering to what we want. But at the end of the day, when you think about experiences that you wish to have, you think about experiences that you want to have maybe professionally or romantically, or maybe going a bit deeper, spiritually, experiences that you want to have for yourself, are you compatible with that experience as you are right now? Are you compatible with that experience in the sense that do you hold enough space that resonates to give that place a home? And what do we do about that? I've had to make some changes myself, a lot. I've been very much open to making changes to become more of a complementary match to the life experience I want to have. And sometimes, yes, it means changing things about what I do and who I associate with, or who I even allow to walk into my live stream, and of course maintaining my energy when they walk back out. I do have to be a little bit more consistent with my maintenance, right? I do readings for people. I interact with people from all different types of walks of life, with all different types of energies they're carrying, from all different types of experiences. So that which is complementary, I let stay, and that which I don't feel to be complementary or is truly not, I clear, I cleanse, I raise the vibration, I dissolve that which is, again, not actually going to be in my best interest, or the best interest of anyone. And in a mundane sense, that might actually mean unfollowing certain people that have a tendency to just completely flood their space and the space of others with energies that are actually detrimental, that are destructive. Now, it may be intentional, it may be unintentional, but sometimes even if it's unintentional, it's important to take your space, because you holding on to that for them is not actually going to create a new experience for them. It's not sending them love to live your life as an homage or a piggy bank for low-grade energy. In fact, what would actually be better for them is for somebody to actually help them find solutions to their issues. And what's also important to understand is that there is no most optimal way, because you want to know exactly what you are clearing and why. Again, making your space only hospitable to that which you would like. Maybe it's about clearing your emotional space, looking at all of the unfinished business, old stories, old timelines that need to be just cleared and deleted, even if unresolved. Sometimes it means taking a look at your social circles. Especially nowadays, at the time where I'm making this video, everyone is so grouped up. But I often ask people, hey, regardless of whether or not you are in this group or in this belonging or in this whatever based on some kind of ideology or some kind of belief or whatever you're there for. What has actually changed in your life experience, and what energies are you exchanging with these people there? And do you have maybe an understanding of how you are welcoming that energy into your space? The fact that you may share a common bond or a common ideology, or maybe something that you choose to identify with, or they choose to identify with or make their identity about, does not actually filter out the energy that is coming into your reality experience based on what they are holding. It's not about being perfect all the time, believe me. I definitely have my moments where I can just get really mad, cuss up a storm, but I don't hold on to it, and I don't keep it. I don't let those things just sort of stay in perpetuity, because I know what's going to happen. It kind of makes me think of a horoscope video that I did where I think I was talking to the Libra people, and I was making a joke about the absurdity of a person trying to maybe smuggle or sneak narcotics into Eden or heaven or Shambhala or paradise, the Summerlands. The absurdity of it all. Because, well, obviously, it's trying to sneak a sack of cocaine into the Summerlands or into heaven doesn't really make a lot of sense. Is that actually a match and in alignment with maybe the goal I have for my family, or my health, or my living situation, my spiritual growth, my social life? Is this in alignment with that ideal? Because here's the thing, we got to get away from thinking about the future. Oh, it'll come in the future. Oh, it'll come in the future. Or, no, we're all working on something, like this is a part of a long master plan, or this is a part of this elongated story. Okay, well, here's the problem with that. When we talk about doing things as an elongated narrative, some big, huge campaign, it's not your now experience. You either match it now or you don't, because there is only now. So why bother trying to focus your attention on some elongated campaign and mission to have something that you could get in alignment with right now, so long as you took proper stock of what is and is not resonant with those experiences. When you think about where we're going into the 2020s, we're going to have communicable energy in a much stronger and much more easy to feel and detect kind of way. And it's actually happening right now. It's not waiting till 2020. It's actually started right now, because again, a lot of these barriers and structures and separations between people and realms are just coming down. And as that happens, we need to pay attention. Okay, well then what am I doing? What am I doing there? What am I spending all my time in? Again, you're going to have times where you are exposed to these energies. All you have to do is get back into alignment, right? Meditate, cleanse, take care of yourself, nurture yourself, work on putting your energies back in a place where they are sympathetic to the outcomes that you want to have. If you're trying to create something like a household or maybe a career or some kind of adventure you wish to go on, and yet at the same time you feel a little bit daunted by one aspect of it, you can actually just roundabout work on other aspects of it. One of the things that I often find interesting is that when people talk about wanting to have a family, all they focus on is either having a spouse or having a child. And they don't necessarily think about, well, what exactly would make the complete experience for me? You don't necessarily have to start there. What about working on creating a space that is going to not only be nurturing and loving and hospitable to a family, but also create a loving opportunity to attract loving people? If you're looking for, say, a spouse or a partner, maybe you don't plan on getting married, or maybe how are we going to create a space that is going to be most conducive, loving, and nurturing for the family we wish to grow? Go about your manifestation in another way. If you're getting stuck on one part of the experience, work on getting in alignment with the rest of the experience and allow that piece to come when it will. Roundabout creation is absolutely essential to know, otherwise you're going to, of course, stall. And once you get to understand that, then you can start creating more and more of the feelings that actually maintain the energy of that space, which again will either attract or create the experience you want to have. But you have to be full and true within yourself. Otherwise, you're going to create a distortion. A distortion occurs when something is created in a space that is not actually in alignment with it, or perhaps it is being forced into a space that is not in alignment with it. And the distortion can sometimes expand outwards and create a bit of havoc for whoever is involved. Divergent or perhaps just incompatible types of alignment are trying to coexist in the same space, and of course they're going to clash, they're going to war with one another, essentially. And so you have to pay attention to, are you doing that in any way, shape, or form? Are you making that happen? You know, you have to be careful about that. If you're not making it happen, are you perhaps maybe unknowingly or unconsciously creating a situation or allowing or permitting a situation if it's other people? Remember, we co-create alongside the space that we're in. Is this something that is happening because of something that we are allowing to stand? Is there something going on that is actually undermining our efforts, or again, distorting or creating aberrations of our creations because it is actually contaminated the space in a sense, or creating a bit of an alteration to the vibration that is, again, creating some discord or some dissonance in there, allowing for something to possibly become unstable. We have to make sure that we don't allow that for ourselves, because again, creating those distortions purposefully or not purposefully, but still allowing them and permitting them to exist for what they are, does have consequences, collateral damage that actually happens to whatever and whomever is actually sharing space with that distortion. So it's important to clear it. The landscape regarding creation, manifestation, spiritual growth, attraction, and timeline shifts, and all of those kinds of things, lifestyle shifts, has changed, and it's going to continue to change more and more and more. Creation methods and outcomes are expanding, and expanding very, very quickly. Allow yourself the time to really focus on creating a space within and around yourself to integrate these changes. Because the more that you actually do change to get into alignment with what you want, the more you'll actually learn that you're not actually changing yourself, you're honoring yourself. You're only taking off the conditioning and the external expectations and external assumptions of what it would take to have such an experience. Your entire experience can and will change the moment you decide to start taking control of the energy that you carry, integrating change for real, authentically, with purpose and intent. But you've got to know what it means to truly resonate and to truly be aligned, because it's definitely time that we all started to just be completely crystal clear and master this concept. It's only going to get more wild and intense from here, in the best of ways possible. So that's what I've got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helps you out. Again, do not forget that there are links to more spiritual topic videos down below. And if you ever wish to get a session with me, tarot or astrology, you can always go to my website. It's called integrativemysticism.com. Take care.